Today, Precarious plays
Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. She has sort of a priestly garb, right?
A little bit. I think that it might be a very severe winter coat solution.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, she's got that little hood, right? But I
Right.
think that the rest of it might also flip up into a sort of cowl when needed
Mm-hmm.
for bad winter time.
What were you doing here?
I was looking for Starlight, my cat. There was lightning and suddenly this flash of certainty. That's when I knew something awful was happening.
Where were you exactly?
In the shadows. My head was down. I couldn't move. Oh God, stupid Daria. I shouldn't have gone out today. The energies were all wrong.
Okay.
Can you remember anything about what the killer looks like?
To be honest, I saw more of the shadow than the man. I remember he was very big. The shadow, it covered everything.
So you can't describe him.
Not the face, no. His clothes, he was wearing something very dark. Black, maybe blue.
Was he augmented?
He moved like an augmented man, but I can't say for sure.
What's your take on Montag? You ever meet him before tonight?
I went to the station once, years ago, to complain about the ticket. Detective Montag is the one they send you to handle the paperwork.
How'd he do?
He did fine. The point is, he's a desk jockey. Look at him, he's lost out here. The cops who know how to catch killers, they're not the ones sent to investigate murdered ox.
It's rude.
Is there anything else I should know about you?
You want to know about Daria? What is there to tell? Small town girl came to the big city to escape her problems, to try and become someone else.
Did it work?
Not really. You can't escape yourself. You can't just come to a big city and expect all your problems to seem smaller. It doesn't work that way.
I'm gonna do what I can to help the investigation.
Good luck.
Okay. Bye. Strange one.
I'm pretty sure that I'm still 2 pieces of evidence short, but I don't remember. It's a little frustrating because I already know the answer, and I can't remember if we solve it immediately or if we have to leave and then if, like, we come back to Prague a 3rd time. You know?
Enjoying yourself, detective.
Alright, I have some questions about the murder.
Before we go any further with this, I need you to know something about Johnny Gunn. He's not a good man. I may not like how my bosses are targeting him, but that doesn't mean he's innocent. So, you know, just make sure you're here for the right reasons.
Why else would I be here?
I don't want this to turn into some kind of crusade. Bad men do bad things. In a perfect world, we arrest them for the right reasons, but, well, the world's not always perfect.
You'll only arrest the victim's husband if the evidence tells you to, right? It's not enough that he's an AUG, and that your bosses want him to go down.
I'll hold my guys off for as long as I can. But unless you can prove someone else killed Angela, or at the very least that Johnny didn't, I don't have much choice. That's why I'm trusting you to talk to him. Give me your honest opinion on what happened here.
Yeah. Why are you trusting me exactly?
Because you gave me the impression of being qualified. Because I'm big enough to admit that maybe I can use the help, and between you and me, because the thought of confronting a man like Johnny Gunn scares the shit out of me.
Fair. Ask him about his career.
Wait, that seems rude. You wanna have a cop measuring contest?
I mean,
Sorry, just I know it's stupid to laugh at your own joke. But
it was a good one. It was a good one.
I just surprised me. Okay.
I'm just curious.
Fine.
How long have you been a cop?
Too long. And of all the ways to go out, eh?
What do you mean?
I mean being assigned a case like this. It's HQ's little joke before sending me off to retirement.
Yeah, like he already said he
but
was
don't worry about me, eh? I'm a survivor. I
2
can
months
make it
away
through
from
this.
the beach.
This case is a joke to you?
I didn't say that. I said it's a joke to HQ. They know I haven't left my desk in years. But that doesn't mean I'm not qualified. Just a little rusty.
People hold a hell of a grudge against Ohhs, ever since the incident.
Yes, and?
Well, good thing the cops here are such professionals. Part of being a police officer is treating everyone the same, right? Ohh or no Ohh.
It's not that simple, and you know it. A police force isn't some abstract ideal of what justice and law should be. It's an instrument of those in power. A reflection of the society it protects.
I haven't been seeing a whole lot of protection out there.
Well, that depends who you ask.
Sometimes I've seen people suggest that the human revolution and mankind divided don't live up to the pointed nature of like the original Deus Ex. And sometimes I wonder that myself, because it's like a really big budget game from a publisher like Square Enix.
Yeah.
And they're bastards, by the way. I don't know. I should make that clear.
Who?
Square Enix.
Oh, okay.
There's just, the collective, the entity of Square Enix. They're just a corporate publisher.
The usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And sometimes I worry that myself, but that was pretty damn clear.
Yeah. I don't know how else you would say that.
Well, I just mean like that no one could. I don't think anybody could interpret that as performative, I guess, or disingenuous. I mean, I think it says a lot that your protagonist is an ex-cop, very deliberately. He's like,
Yeah, honestly, when you said that people say that this game is not particularly pointed in comparison to the other ones, my question was going to be, what the heck do you mean? How much more pointed can you get?
well, there were long digressions in the original where they would talk about, I mean, like political theory, like in depth
Oh,
for like a long time.
oh, I might have liked that, but
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I just, it's it is a much less robust game in between.
well, I was gonna say, I mean, I think that it's very telling to experience the environment in bits and pieces in comparison to just having a long discussion about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you just want to have a long discussion about political theory, you can just go do that.
Maybe we should play the original Deus Ex on the show. I wonder if I could get it running and get it recorded.
Have you played the original Deus Ex?
A portion of it, but then, I mean, the environments just got too samey. I got to if I remember correctly, I think that the game starts on, damn, what's the island, the tiny little island that the Statue of Liberty is on?
Ellis Island?
Ellis? I kept wanting to think. I couldn't get past Staten.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, Coney? No, that's an
No,
amusement
that's
park one.
a whole different circus.
What's the other little island? I think the first level of the game is the Statue of Liberty. and the base around it, if I remember correctly. It's definitely like a tiny island off the coast of Manhattan.
Well, maybe we can poke around with that later. Maybe we should keep going.
Yeah.
I'm here because I don't like the idea of someone killing people right outside my window. Maybe he's out there right now, targeting that poor witness. Or maybe he's just looking for any chance to do it again.
Fair enough, Mr. Interpol.
Oh, do we have more to talk to this person about? Okay.
Do you know if the victim had any enemies?
I know she and Johnny didn't get along. Other than that, I really couldn't tell you.
I mean, I think we should
Tell
just
me
go
about the
around the
victim's
wheel.
husband, Johnny.
He used to work for a private military company, Bell Tower. He's been arrested for all sorts of things in the past. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe in evidence. But I also believe in playing the odds. 9 times out of 10, the husband did it.
Why are your superiors so eager to pin Johnny for murder? It's gotta be more than just not liking the guy.
Standard policy for guys like Johnny. The way they see it, you send a man like him into Golem City, and he's liable to go off the grid, end up with Ark or God knows who. He becomes 10 times more trouble than he's worth. But if they can charge him with something big, something like murder, well, suddenly he's no trouble at all.
I spoke to Daria. She's able to confirm that the suspect is male. Other than that, she's all over the place. I think she's pretty shaken up.
Yeah, well, can't blame her. I would be too. You seem to have made a good impression, though. Ever since you got here, she seems different, calmer. You know, I met my first wife over a crime scene. Let me give you a very important piece of advice, eh? Never marry the ones you save.
Look at Adam's face.
I know. It's like, I don't know what to do with that piece of information, but sure.
Did the killer leave anything behind? Does anything strike you as odd?
I don't know. It's a murder, you know? Doesn't matter if you look at it sideways or upside down. It's never going to look normal.
Was Megan his ex-wife or his fiance? Or his serious girlfriend?
I don't remember if they were married or not.
Okay, because that would be a funny bit of advice.
I found a broken needle stuck in the victim's shoulder. The killer might have drugged Angela before killing her.
Maybe, but keep in mind she was an Ohhh. Don't you all have to shoot up that new puzz shit? Let's go for the obvious before jumping to any wild conclusions.
I'm assuming you know her augments were harvested. The marks on her body make it seem like the killer knew exactly what he was doing, knew exactly what he wanted.
The way you said that just now.
What about it?
The way you described the Ohhh removal. And before, you mentioned a broken needle in the right shoulder?
That's right.
It reminds me, you know. There was this cop, Smolinski. He used to work in this neighborhood. He had this theory about a copycat. Someone acting just like a dead killer named, Svobotka.
You think there's a connection to another case?
I don't know yet. But I remember him mentioning something about needles and Ohhh removal. Smolinski died in the police station bombing. Whatever files he had would have been moved into temp storage, across the street from the bombed-out station. Who knows? Maybe it's nothing.
I found a print on Angela's neck, next to the contusion marks. It's a partial, so I don't think we can match it to anything. But at least we know the killer left something, and that she was strangled.
Huh, a fingerprint. I must have missed that one. This is exactly the kind of evidence I'm talking about. No way Johnny could squirm his way out of something like that. If only we could link it to him.
I was gonna say, it's funny how when people send you after information, they talk about, like, old sketchy files, like you're gonna be able to find them in 5 minutes, and you always do. And I'm like, has anybody ever tried to look for records in a poorly organized situation?
Anything I should know about the scene? Anything jump out at you?
The dismembered body jumps out at me. Keep in mind, I've been behind a desk for the last 12 years. It all jumps out at me.
I found what looks like a grenade fragment. EMP by the looks of it. Killer might have used this to incapacitate her.
Interesting. Johnny wouldn't need an EMP to take down his wife. Riot police use EMPs to re-establish public order around here. With all the Ohhh riots, anti-Ohhh riots, it wouldn't surprise me if that's all it was. Still, interesting.
That's crazy. That's
What?
a good way to give somebody a heart attack.
Oh, yeah, just tossing EMPs
Like,
around.
everybody chill out. No, it's not like just, oh my god. Like, what if your kidneys stopped working? You know? Like, what if your brain stopped working? What
I
could...
mean, that's the functional result of pepper spray in real life.
Yeah, I guess I don't like that either, so...
So, like, this is the such a junior edition of this problem, but sometimes if I'm like chopping an onion and it's especially potent, I am effectively incapacitated. I'm standing there, like it's like the knife goes down, I have to root around with like a rag or something, and then it's just me leaning next to the counter for several minutes trying to like regain control of my faculties. Pepper spray is just like a weaponized version of that effect.
Yeah.
That's why over the last couple of years, I've seen some legitimately impressive reactions. Like I think that there was a couple of fucking clowns stopped a guy in his car, and they were like, "You need to get out of your car." And then he asked very reasonable questions, and they wouldn't answer them. And then when he didn't respond quickly enough to suit their needs, they shot him with pepper spray in his own damn vehicle. And then his response was essentially like hands on the wheel, eyes closed, just like, well, that's not going to help anything, and now it's just going to take me even longer to do everything. I don't know why you just shot me with pepper spray. It was like remarkably calm and rational, and the best I can imagine is an incomprehensible howl.